49ers are scheduled to meet the media on Monday. I mean, every question, I do not give a crap about the draft. Every question should be about Trey Lance. Every single
Real
one.
quick, it's going to be John Lynch. It's a John Lynch special. Kyle Shanahan, I believe, won't be there because he pretends like he's not involved in the draft. This is John.
Well, that would be weak sauce. If Kyle's not there, that's real weak.
Oh, it's going to be ultimate weak sauce, dude. Yes. Be prepared for weak sauce. But, I mean, hey, I don't know for certain he won't be there, but I don't think he was there last year.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
He doesn't go to the combine, right? Now it's the pre-draft conference. Now he's not going to go to that. I mean, dude, come on here. Stop hiding behind John Lynch. And maybe he will be there, so I don't know.
That's why he hired John Lynch. That's John Lynch's function in the organization. Like, what are we paying you for? Why? If I can't hide behind you, what are we paying you for?
You know what? I think you're 1,000% right.
Yeah.
This has got to be, there's 1,000 questions you could ask John Lynch about this. Like, John, don't you think it's bad that there's constant reports about you wanting to get rid of this guy? Don't you think you need to treat Trey Lance better than this? Why don't you ever shut the door on the damn speculation? That would be the first question.
That's a good question. I like that.
Justin says, are any 49ers even working out with Lance? Right now, I don't know.
Doesn't seem like it. I mean, he had to go work out with Mahomes. He had to go on Instagram and say, are there any college or high school wide receivers in San Jose who want to get some work in? And Brandon Ayuk like retweeted it or said, yeah, come on, guys. But he didn't go when he was there last year, which, I mean, is that a slap in the face to Trey? Or have they been told quietly, like, look, man, it's a waste of time. We're going to trade him. So, like, just don't. You know what I mean?
Well, and did you see the thing that Trey Lance posted on Instagram the other day?
No, I'm not on Instagram. I'm 50 years old. Swear to God, I'm not on Instagram.
So Trey Lance posted something on Instagram that said, I'm okay with missing out. I'm in a different mode right now. Now, I don't know what that means.
Is that a lyric?
It could be. I have no idea.
24-year-olds always fall back on that. Oh, it was just a little baby lyric. Like, okay.
Right.
Say it again. I'm going to Google it real quick. Say it again.
I'm okay with missing out. I'm in a different mode right now. Now, I don't know. What is he missing out on? Is he at the 49ers facility for off-season workouts right now? I don't know. Which, by the way, how do we not know that?
Because OTA, phase 1 of OTAs, the media is not invited because they're not on the field. I see a lot of people tweeting, I'm okay with missing out. I'm in a different mode right now. I can only think. I feel like it's like definitely a lyric, but why would he choose that lyric?
That's the point. That when people say, "Oh, it's just a lyric," it's like, yes, but why is he picking this lyric? That's the thing. Like, you can't just say, "Oh, it's a lyric." It doesn't mean anything. Like,
no, it does.
Hell, man.
Well, it could either mean something about football or something about a girl. Because honestly, the only times I've ever felt like posting cryptic lyrics on social media was when I was like 21 and I was in my feelings about a girl. Swear to God. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never been in a dispute with my employer and thought like, you know what? I need the perfect lyric to post on Twitter about this. But so I don't know. Maybe that's how he is. I'm older than him. I don't know.
Well, like, look, I'm the old guy in the room. I've had social media for a long time. I've used song lyrics myself for statuses while on AOL Instant Messenger or Facebook or whatever the thing was at the time. So I've done the same thing. And guess what? It's always applied to a situation in my life. I didn't just randomly pluck a song lyric out of the air and throw it up there. It always applied to what was going on with me.
Okay, let's assume he's talking about the Niners. I'm okay with missing out. I'm in a different mode, as in, screw you. I'm gone. I don't need you, right? That would be, if he's talking about the Niners, I'm okay with missing out. I don't care about you guys. I never got an opportunity here, but I don't even care because I'm about to be 23. And even though I'm going bald, I'm a very handsome man. Women like me, and the teams do too. So I got a future. Maybe that's what it is.
I don't know. I'm not touching the bald stuff.
Or maybe it's just a thirst trap on Instagram and like 40 women were like, "What's are you talking about me? Are you talking about me?" And Trey's like, "Now I am. What's up?" I don't know.
I can't talk about dudes going bald. Look, I'm in full retreat myself over here. So
yeah, I think I'm going the same direction too. Sorry.
Corey watching on YouTube says, if Lance is traded, this will be one of the worst institutional failures in 49er history, and someone should be held accountable. I agree, because you never saw what he was. He didn't even start and finish games in back-to-back weeks, and you traded him.
Shouldn't Jed be mad? Like, Jed, you invested these. Those were your picks. This is your franchise. Right. That's your money. I mean, they gave up on the project before doing anything for nothing for a day 2 pick. Like, aren't you pissed? Aren't you going to fire someone? Does it? I don't understand. Otherwise, if you don't hold someone accountable, like, what's to prevent them from doing this shit again?
There is a difference between scouting a guy, drafting a guy, and being wrong, which happens to every coach and every general manager for every team from the beginning of time.
Right.
And there's a difference between that and drafting a guy and not even finding out if you're wrong.
For example, Philly was wrong about Carson Wentz, but they learned that over the course of 3 or 4 years. Carson Wentz is the same freaking school as Trey Lance. The Niners they don't know if they're right or wrong about Trey Lance. He hasn't failed. He got injured, and they were extremely culpable. I know you disagree. I'm not going to say responsible, but the word I'm using is culpable, and they got to admit that. Culpable. But no, he's gone. Well, not yet. I still don't think they're going to trade him, man. I feel like they're trying to get some team to give him an offer they can't refuse. It's not coming. It's not coming.
Well, and the other part of this, too, is nothing happens in a vacuum, right? The 49ers may say, we don't really want to trade Trey, but we do have Brock, we do have Sam, and if we can get the 12th
XYZ, we'll do right by Trey.
And replace a right tackle, because we need to fill in now that McGlinchey's gone. They may be like, maybe we have to do that. Like, it's not just about Lance, but point. They have to consider that as well. Miguel says, I don't trust their judgment on quarterbacks. Name all the quarterbacks that have been in the past 7 years, and I'm invested in Trey. He's the truth.
How could they trust their judgment on quarterbacks? Like, their track record is abysmal, and I think knowing that, they should probably just let it play out instead of trying to predict the future. But they love trying to predict the future. That's what they do.
Lucas says, if Trey goes to another team and the 49ers face them, I hope he shells them. This front office is clueless. I will be rooting for Trey Lance wherever he goes.
It's going to be a very, very unpopular move if they trade him and there's no Aaron Rodgers to replace him. So it seems like Jed York is sensitive to that. He doesn't like pissing off his fans. DeForest Buckner's one thing, but I think it's one thing. Fans could get behind trading a defensive tackle. If Trey is different. I don't know if they want to go down that road.
John Hunt says, Stats, you don't care if Brock does right about Brock. You want Brock to do right by Trey and miss the season. You want Trey so bad. You do not want Brock to be healthy. That's not true.
You do. You're a Trey homer. Is he are you guys friends? He's your uncle, isn't he? No, he's younger than you.
Like, this is so infuriating. I want Brock to be healthy. I do. But I want the 49ers to find out what Trey Lance is first. That's my only thing. I've said many times, I don't know that Trey is going to be good. I have no idea, but nobody does. And I cannot support giving up all those picks to go get this guy and then not even finding out if this person is good. I can't support that. I absolutely cannot.
No, because that's not what good organizations do.
Right.
It's not. And I think Jed should be aware of that. This is his organization. And if this goes down, he'll always have the stink of incompetence from this move. Like, and it goes along with the Patrick Mahomes move too. Like, you were there. He came to you. Didn't have to trade up for Patrick Mahomes. Right. Chiefs traded up for Patrick Mahomes. They traded up for him. He fell to you. Like Moses coming through the freaking weeds. You know what I'm saying? Just chilling in a boat. And you were like, screw this guy. We don't want him. And then you said, no, Trey Lance is the guy who's really special. Let's trade up for him. And then before you gave him a fifth start, you were like, we were wrong. Like, everyone pack up your bags. This is a quarterback-driven league, and you can't do this.
Gator 49er 88 says, this is all a secret plan to trade Brock Purdy so they could say that the ultimate draft flipper regime instead of winning a damn Super Bowl. Shaking my head. I mean, a Brock Purdy trade would be unbelievable. There's no chance of that, but damn, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. Again, he's coming off an injury. Trey's coming off an injury. What team is really going to trade for this? Hey, conspiracy theory time. What were those clips about last week with Trey throwing? What do you think that was about? Hey, Trey, we need to trade you, but the offers are kind of low right now. Can you do something? Can you put a clip online? Well, show that you throw a spiral, something.
There was a report that the Niners were going there to see his status, which, by the way, that kind of goes back to what you were saying before about Brock not necessarily sharing his medical information. Like, maybe Trey did the same thing. So they were literally showing up to see how he was doing. I don't know. Josh Wyatt.
Hey, would you, if you were Brock, would you, hey, Niners, check it out. Look at this. Would you show it to him? Especially what if it wasn't?
I don't know. Yeah.
Man.
If everything
what's in it for you?
If everything is great, I probably show it to him, right? I mean, what's the harm in showing him that everything is great, especially because you are going to have to fend off another quarterback, whether it's Brock or whether it's Trey or Sam. But if it's not, if it's not great, or if it's just unsure,
unclear,
right now,
unclear.
Yeah, thank you. That's the word I wanted. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Josh Wyatt says, my point was, if I am a GM, there's no way I'm trading a high pick for 2 years of a project when I could draft my own project and get 4 years for cheap.
That's a very good
point.
Trade
rumors and reports are not credible.
That's a good point. But so that's why I feel like, but again, if you're going to draft a quarterback, you could take Hendon Hooker instead of Trey Lance. Hendon Hooker, yeah, you'd get 4 years, but he's already 25. He'll be 26 in January. So I do think that the Niners feel like, hey, man, Trey Lance should be in that. He should net us a second round pick. If Hendon Hooker can go at the top of round 2, Trey Lance should get us a top of round 2. Yeah, but he hasn't played in 3 years. Hendon Hooker had. So I can see where they're coming from, but I think they're going to get disappointed.
Mina Kimes had a stat. I can't pull it up now, but it was something like there's only been like 3 quarterbacks that have been that old that have been drafted like before the 7th round, and none of them ended up being any good. Like, if you haven't shown some of
this about the pandemic though? Like that whole season was wiped out. It seems like there's a lot of old players in this draft.
Maybe I do think that's part of it, because a lot of people were granted extra eligibility, I think.
Right.
There's that whole.
I'm not that mad. Like, honestly, I'm not scared about drafting an old quarterback. Like, it seems like the whole thing you want now is a quarterback on a rookie deal who's ready to play right away. Because if he's a project, then you're sacrificing the cheap years and hoping that he pans out and you can pay him a lot of money. But, I don't care if he's 25. Can he play as a rookie? Can he be good as a rookie? Like, okay, then now you got 4 years of a quality quarterback for cheap while you're looking for a franchise quarterback. Like, but you could do worse.
We got this from Drewber89, losing a great lemonade recipe. What does that mean?
Parag called he said that.
Oh, that's right.
The lemonade stand. He called it a lemonade stand.
He said, we know how to take something from a lemonade stand and turn it into like a functional.
Essentially a Fortune 500 company, which is so funny. Yeah.
Another super chat from Christopher. Yahoo took down a 45-second clip video. Reporter asked, when do you think you'll be back? And Brock Purdy says, I'm not really sure, taking one day at a time. Yeah, see, that's really bad then. If that's how it actually went down with Yahoo, they can't say that Brock said he was unsure if he was going to play in 2023. That is clearly not what that quote would be implying. And again, I haven't seen this video, so I don't know. But if it went down like you're saying, Christopher, that's bad.
Definitely bad. Yeah, you can't do that.
So anyway, the other thing
if that's what happened and Yahoo's response was to take down the video and hide the evidence, like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you got to get this right. You're journalists. What are you doing?
It'd be a bad look. Jackson says, does this prove that Kyle actually didn't want to draft Trey Lance and it was John Lynch that wanted Trey? No. There's no way that the 49ers drafted a quarterback that Kyle Shanahan did not want at number 3. There's no way. That did not happen. It's way more
likely. His dad went to Trey Lance's pro day, man. This was a Mike and Kyle production.
Right. It's way more likely that no one else in the organization wanted Trey except Kyle Shanahan than it is that he didn't want him and everybody else did.
Exactly.
The other part of this that got me mad, and literally, so like, just so people know, this news breaks. I'm tweeting my way through it. I'm getting ready. I'm getting in the shower. As I'm doing this, when stuff happens, I literally am speaking through it out loud, just walking around my house, randomly like firing off takes because I have to just get it out. To trade Trey Lance before he gets to play a single game with Christian McCaffrey would be absurd. We saw how Christian McCaffrey transformed the offense last year. They went from scoring 19 points a game to scoring like 33 points a game. To not even see what you have, especially now when no one's going to bang on you for letting Brock rest up and playing Trey Lance. Like, there's no downside to the 49ers for doing that. So then to trade him before that even happens would just be even more absurd.
Hey, you're not even getting a first round pick. I mean, it's like you mentioned earlier. Well, They could trade him for like a starting right tackle. They gotta, at least to consider it because they're in this win now mode and they need. Yeah, but you're not getting a starting right tackle for Trey Lance. To get a starting right tackle, you need a first round pick. You're not gonna get a day one starter in like round 3 or like late round 2 at right tackle. So again, I just don't see the upside of trading him. It feels like there's very little upside. The upside is his value could get even worse. If you wait past the draft, if he doesn't play this year, if he struggles like they think he might, then his value could get even worse. But who cares? I mean, you already ruined it. You already hurt him. You already tanked his value. Like, I don't know. It just seems like you're better off trying to rehabilitate his value than Darnold's, right? Are you kidding?
If you're gonna like, bring somebody's career back from the ashes, why would it be Sam Darnold's and not Trey Lance's? The guy,
yes.
It's so
a proven failure. A proven failure.
Proven. Yes. Gator 49er 88 says, obviously they're not trading Brock. I'm just accepting the pure chaos of this regime's quarterback room squandering. If they truly screw up my right to rock my 2-year-old Lance jersey, I'm gonna be pissed. Yeah, there is that side of it. You didn't really get a lot of use out of that jersey. But I think
also selling that jersey without giving the guy a chance, it feels like you stole from your fans. you sold them on bullshit. And you stole from them, and then you got rid of it and said, "Hey, it's football, like, and you're stupid. Like, just buy a Sam Darnold jersey." This is essentially what you said. Right. Buy a Sam Darnold jersey and shut up.
Are the 49ers overvaluing having a cheap quarterback room? Because I think you can argue that they are. I could be wrong about this, but I am pretty sure that the only 2 quarterbacks that have won a Super Bowl under the whole rookie wage scale thing are Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes.
And Mahomes, yeah.
So the idea that like, okay, cheap quarterback room, is such an advantage is not really the case here, and I almost think that maybe the 49ers are putting too much value on, hey, if we have a cheap quarterback room, we could have a great defensive line and a great linebacker and a great tight end. It's like a house, right? If you're going to buy a house and you love everything about the house, you like the bathrooms and you like all this stuff, but the kitchen is a little small and there's not that much counter space and you don't really love it, that the kitchen is the quarterback. Because every day you're going to be in that house, you're going to have to cook in that kitchen 3 times a day. And every day it's going to be, damn, I wish this kitchen was bigger. Damn, I wish I had a little more counter space to move around. Every day you're going to have to deal with that. That's the quarterback situation. Damn, I wish our quarterback's arm was stronger. Damn, I wish he was a little more mobile. I think the 49ers are ignoring the kitchen and looking too much at the rest of the house.
I totally agree. And it's great to have, a cheap quarterback room, but you have to have a very good quarterback to win a Super Bowl. So whether he's expensive, whether he's cheap, kind of doesn't matter. I mean, what you don't want is to give a lot of money to Jimmy Garoppolo or Derek Carr or Kirk Cousins.
Right.
It's what you don't want to do.
It's the worst thing you can do.
It's the worst thing you can do. So what the Niners are doing is better than that, but it's not necessarily like, a cheat code to winning a Super Bowl. It'll keep you relevant. You have a good team, but ultimately your lack of a premier quarterback is going to cost you. It almost cost them against the Cowboys, although Dak Prescott being even worse bailed him out. And then it, from what Kyle said, it cost him against the Eagles. I still don't understand how Kyle blames Brock Purdy for his own injury and then says, this guy's our franchise quarterback. Like, which one is it? Is he the guy who didn't step up and doesn't know how to step up in the pocket, or is he your guy for the next 10 years? Anyway, I got off on a tangent.
I know. That's a thing. David Lombardi tweeted out this morning, quote tweeting the Rappaport tweet, and Lombardi said, it's a question of price for the 49ers. Both Lynch and Shanahan clearly said that at the owners' meetings. The operative pillar here is that the price is very high since San Francisco recently ran out of quarterbacks and is watching its top option, Brock Purdy, rehab. Different day, same truth. I think that that's a mistake that people are making, because the Niners said, well, we trade anybody for the right offer. Mm-hmm. Why are we assuming that the right offer is 3 first-round picks for Trey Lance? They may say the right offer is a second-round pick or a second and a third or a 4th and a conditional second-round pick in 2024. We can't assume that the right offer is necessarily like, a king's ransom.
David's making it sound like the Niners don't really want to trade Trey Lance, but if someone blows him away, they'll begrudgingly trade him, as if this report didn't probably come from the 49ers. Like, are we kidding? Are you kidding? Obviously, they want to trade Trey Lance. Obviously, he said clearly. I'm guessing this probably came from the 49ers, and what they're saying is we want a better deal, but don't act like they're like, oh, someone's calling us about Trey Lance. Why? We love him so. Would you leave us alone? And then this, like, are you kidding? Like, that's not what's going on. But I feel like that's what he's trying to make it seem like.
And again, them getting blown away. If someone said, "Hey, we'll give you the number 12 pick for Trey Lance," that would be blown away. If they said,
it would have been done already.
Right. We'll give you pick 34 for Trey Lance.
Would have been done already.
Blown them away too. Don't assume that it has to be 3 first-round picks. So I think a lot of people have their head in the sand about this thing.
When the report came out that they were looking for a second and a fourth, the way I feel is you always ask for a little bit more than you're willing to accept. So I heard second and a fourth. I heard, okay, they trade him for a second. And that means that probably the offers right now is a third. So they got to figure that out. Can they trade him for a third? No. Can they sell trading him for a second? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. I don't think so. Also, are they going to get a second in 2023 for Trey Lance, who hasn't played in 3 years? No, they're not. Could they get a conditional that could become a second next year?
Right.
Maybe. But is he going to play this year, or is he going to go to a team that's going to sit him behind Kirk Cousins or Jared Goff or Ryan Tannehill? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Doesn't it feel like somehow, some way, Kirk Cousins is going to be the starting quarterback in 2024? They trade Trey Lance, right? Then Brock comes back and he can't play, right? He's just not the same guy. And then where are the 49ers? Then where are they? They're nowhere. And who's a free agent in 2024? It's Kirk Cousins. It feels like it's inevitable.
I agree. Like this, let's say this year doesn't go so well and they trade Trey and Brock doesn't come back right away and Sam Darnold just keeps being Sam Darnold, and let's say they go 8-9 and it doesn't work out. And then in the offseason, Jed's like, Kyle, I've been very patient with you, but I'm pissed. We got to figure out this quarterback position or you're fired. And Kyle's like, whoa. Before you make any rash decisions, just let me get one chance with Kirk. What I wanted to do the whole time. And Jed's like, okay, fine. You get one last chance with Kirk. I mean, I don't know.
I feel like that would be the sales pitch, right? I could see Kirk.
Don't fire me before you see what I can do with Kirk.
Right. With his sweater vest face at the press conference. And Kyle's right there saying, oh, yeah, we were just joking. This is what we wanted to do all along. Hell, that's what he said to Christian McCaffrey. He was like, hey, we wanted to draft you before. Like, it's going to happen.
I totally agree. And that's why I feel like Niner fans need to open their eyes. Like, they sold you on Trey Lance to keep you happy and placated, but really it was a bait and switch to get you to buy a Kirk Cousins jersey. You're going to have to buy a Kirk Cousins jersey. And Steve, do not let him take your number 8. Do not let him take your number 8. That can't happen. I don't want to see Cousins 8 49ers jersey ever. Give him number 17. Let him take Josh Johnson's jersey.
That would be so awesome if they sign Kirk and he asks to get the number and Steve Young is like, no.
No, you're Kirk Cousins. Absolutely not. No.
So, all right, the 49ers are going to speak on Monday. You're going to be able to ask a question to whoever's up there. If it's John, if it's Kyle, a lot of times you only get one question in these press conferences, Grant. So I'm going to put you on the spot. What is the question that you are asking to John Lynch?
I don't have one prepared. I guess we should do some homework here. It seems to me like he's going to answer questions about the draft, but what can he say? What you want to ask is about the quarterback situation, right? So you'll ask the stuff like you need a right tackle, and that stuff. But eventually, someone's going to broach the topic of, hey, there was a report from me and Rappaport that came out a few days ago that you guys are fielding calls. So someone's going to ask that question. It'll be Mayoko or Barrows, and then it's going to be on all of us to like ask 7 or 8 follow-ups. So I'll ask a follow-up, but what I want to do is sort of hear what John says and react to it. Is like, I'll have something prepared, but that's how it's going to go. What do you think of this report? And then 4 or 5 follow-ups or more, and really put him on the spot. And to John Lynch's credit, he doesn't like get mad. It's not like Kyle who'll get red in the face and be like, well, common sense says. Like John will, you say, that's a good question, Grant, and it'll give you eye contact. So it's not scary. We just got to do our jobs and follow up.
100%. I agree.
Yeah.
That would be the question. The question's got to be, this report is out there. Is it true?
Yeah.
Are you fielding calls for Trey Lance? And then the follow-ups have to come. That would,
because he'll blow it off. He'll be like, we get calls on everyone and we always listen. That's what they'll say, right? We always get calls. We always listen. We still like Trey right now, like all that kind of stuff. So we'll have to pin him down. He's kind of tough to pin down sometimes, John Lynch. He says everything with a smile. You don't really understand what he's saying when he says it.